and asking, what if? Where's this coming from? And you become freaking a detective. Sherlock Holmes over here. Got the pipe and everything else, right? And just, you're going inside and investigating where it's coming from and learning how to release and let that go. That's how it goes. And then you can start laughing at it. So whenever you start having this fear come up and you have this scarcity come up and you can start laughing at it. When your world seems like it's falling apart on the outside, you can just laugh at it. To me, that's so much better than freaking being stressed out and worried and anxious and freaking out and lashing out at your kids, lashing out at your spouse, lashing out at somebody who's not wearing a damn mask or not following the protocol that you think they should be following, right? It's like, no. And then, but laughing at that too. When someone does that, it's like, oh my gosh, they're in this fear mode. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just going to laugh at it. And I do got to say that with everything that's been going on, I have a lot of material coming to me.
Of course.
That I get to laugh at. And that's the whole point of it, because it takes these serious things, right, and puts them in a humor way, and we can laugh at it. Is it still going to trigger some people? Mm-hmm. Absolutely it is. It's not my intention. It's not my intention to offend somebody, but the offense has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with them. But I'm not going, how can I piss people off today? Okay, let me rewind that. Sometimes I am, because I'm still human, right? I get caught up in the ego mind. There's times I'm going, I want to piss some fucking people off today. Because this is ridiculous, and I want to do it. It's like, who can I? But then I'm like, oh, no, that's not coming from a place of love and a place of compassion. But how can I speak my truth, make it fun, make it funny, but knowing that it's still going to trigger people, going to offend people, but that's not my intention. It's just me sharing my truth and speaking my truth and allowing the freedom of other people to do that, and knowing that some people are going to awaken and feel that, and they're going to go, oh, this makes sense. They're going to start moving. They're going to start releasing their own stuff and having more fun and laughing more. And the whole point is, man, is laughing through life. Laugh more, love deeper, live fully. Hashtags, all of that. That's what it's about. But we can't do that when we're living in a place of fear. We can't do that when we're living in a place of everybody's got to do what I want them to do because I feel better. It's dealing with that. But sometimes it is offending people. Sometimes it is triggering people. Not to be mean, but in a loving way to get people to think differently. Some will, some won't. And that's okay. Laugh at that too.
I love it.
But as a comedian, man, it's like I'm having a ton of material come to me. Been told not to share it yet because it's not time. But trust me, it's coming. That time's coming, and how it will. And it's going to be, I have so many ideas coming through. I'm at the store, I hear something, or I'm somewhere, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this comes. Or I'll see a post, and I'm like, oh gosh, I could totally have some fun with this. And obviously, it's all like it's a spiritual Saturday Night Live. It's like a skit comedy kind of thing. The other piece of sharing that truth, I don't know how that's going to look yet. We've talked about that many times. Like, I don't know exactly how that's going to look, but yet it's going to happen, and I trust that it will. Let's have some fun, man. It's so stressful all across the world. Let's have some freaking fun. If we can laugh more, we can't be manipulated easily, right?
In that place of connection, when we're laughing, we're connected. That's what I always love to remind. And so first of all, say hi to the Facebook and YouTube world. I wasn't streaming this, and I was like, why am I not streaming this? Like, I got to share this because you were flowing. So I was like, if I look like I was looking down a couple times because I was putting the stream out there, I was like, this needs to be out in the world. So say hello to YouTube and Facebook. Right now we're live streaming there.
Hey, FaceTube. Wow, I just combined both of them right there.
I'm sure Mark Zuckerberg would love that. He's like, give me all the rest of the social medias out there. I don't think the Google guys are going to go for that. But yeah,
no, they don't get along too well.
No, the battle of the trillionaires.
Yes,
but no, you said some things right there. What you're setting such a great example for, Tony. A lot of things, but the main thing, and it reminds me of how I enjoy being and how I encourage everybody to be, as far as whenever you point out that you don't know exactly how all the details are going to work out or be yet. None of us do. But the ones of us that, and this used to be one of my greatest weaknesses, trying to figure all that stuff out, and like, I'll be really happy when I can figure this out, or when I know what this is going to look like, or all this stuff, and that I'll be happy when it's so future-based. Like, it leads to a lot of anxiety and, some depression right now. And so for me, I just now embrace the adventure of life of I don't need to know all the details of how everything is going to work out right here in this second. However, I know things are unfolding, and I'm on the step that I'm on in my life, and we all have things right now that we can do that will move us towards anything that we're excited about, whether it be in our health or relationships or our finances or whatever it is. And when we need the rest of the stuff, the rest of the ideas and the information, we'll have those attracted to us when we're ready to use them. But the adventure of life, like I love the way that you describe that, and it's my favorite part of life. And one thing that's been coming into my attention a lot, because the universe will constantly give me reminders of this, because this was such a weakness for me a decade ago, 5 years ago, and it's just become more and more of a strength as I practice just embracing the unknown. But the universe keeps bringing people into my path, or more so information, not like physical people that I'm meeting in person. But even like I was watching a Gary Vee video yesterday, and he was telling this kid that he was struggling. He was a young kid in his 20s, and he was like being really hard on himself. And he reminded me of me when I was in my early 20s. He was being really hard on himself because he wasn't successful yet. And he was seeing all this, these people on social media that are having all this success at a young age and all this stuff. And Gary said something that I've heard a lot over the last, several years, as far as, kid, you're going to be, I can tell, like, you're going to be successful. Like, keep doing what you're doing. And at the same time, when you get to all the stuff that you're describing that you want, you're going to realize that the most fun part of all of it is where you are right now, the journey to it, the actual unfolding of how it all works out. Like, he's like, where I am right now, Gary's talking, he's like, I am where I am right now. But it was even more fun when I was 28, like just getting out of my dad's liquor store and then going on this journey and knowing that I'm going to do all these things in business. Like, that was even more fun than it is right now. So I was like, that's just an interesting reminder. And it'll probably take, the self-discovery for all of us to realize, wow, like the journey was the fun part. But if we can realize that that's the fun part now, like that's what we're all here for, just enjoying the journey of this physical experience, it could be a really cool journey.
And you just inspired a quote. It just came to my head when you said that. The magic is in the journey.
Absolutely.
It's not the destination. You hear this at Abraham Hicks, right? They're talking about, it's like, you got to be happy now in order to attract that stuff into your life. Because we know the law of attraction works. We know quantum physics. We know the science behind all that, right? But it's about preparing ourselves to be able to do that. It's like, we have to be good with where we are now. We have to be good with everything that's coming up. And comparison will freaking kill you. Because you don't know someone else's journey, like that kid that, like, in his 20s, right? Just because there's kids in their 20s that are freaking successful as shit, you don't know their story. You don't know their programming. You don't know the shit that they've gone through. You don't know how many gorillas threw shit on them. It's like, you don't know. Maybe they had less shit thrown at them than you did. Maybe you had the silverback gorilla and you had one holding you down while the other one just taking it and just slamming it in your face. And I know people are like, why is he talking about gorilla shit? It's a great visual. It's making you see it and feel it. It's really feeling how this works. And it's just having, it's like, giant shit show. But really, how do you take something so disgusting as a shit show and laugh at it and having fun with it? Because there's healing in laughter. We know this. So how do we laugh more? How do we get there so we can let go of all of that and just stop comparing? Am I perfect at it? Fuck no, I'm not perfect at it. I'm human. I still have my moments. I just don't stay there long. I'm like, oh shit, I got more to heal. It just tells me, I'm like, I got something inside still to heal. It happens today. It's not always I'm laughing every single moment. I'm raising a teenage girl by myself. That's fun. But no, it's been very beautiful. And my daughter is just a reflection of how much I've grown. Because everybody's like, oh man, she's going to be a teenager, man. It's going to shift. You think things are great now, and you've built this great life with her over the past 6 years, because I've been raising her since she was 5. But I've been on this journey for the last I guess 6 years is where I've been starting to really work on myself and really heal. And then it's been about 2 years for the journey, this deeper spiritual journey. And I'm going, oh, I know it's going to be tough because she's going to start independence to hormones and all that other stuff that's going to happen when you have teenagers, which it does. But it doesn't affect me as much. And I just laugh at it. Or I'll do something to open her heart and just have fun with it. It doesn't get me as much. And if it does, if I do fall, I just, I need to heal. I had something inside. That, you see this in like so many different aspects of life and so many areas of business and life. And you can see it like in chiropractic, right? You go in because you're hurt. And when they adjust you, however that works, right? Whenever you adjust you, it sometimes feels like it's getting worse before it gets better. Because everything is moving back to where it originally was, right? Oftentimes, you have to destroy what's there in order to rebuild it. And sometimes it's just about shifting it. But it feels like everything's falling apart, but things have to fall apart to fall back in place. So instead of saying, oh man, this happened, I'm having a horrible day, why are you allowing one moment of your time to control your whole fucking day or days? And I've been that guy. This is everything, and then everything starts falling. Everything starts it's like a domino. It's like bam, 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 because we're focused on that thing. What if we start focusing on ourselves, focus inward, healing, and saying, how can I have more fun? How can I have more fun? This is your show. Life is your movie. Life is your stage. If you don't like what's there in the script, rewrite the damn thing. Be a diva and say, I don't like this shit. I'm the star. I'm going to rewrite it. It's like, oh, hell no, nope. And you can rewrite it. You have that ability to rewrite it. But one of the keys, I should say, because there's a lot, to really understanding is like when things are not going the way you planned them in your head, is just to realize this. Everything is used for our good. When someone dies in your life, there's purpose behind it. When you lose a job, there is purpose behind it. When you have financial turmoil and chaos, there is purpose behind that. When you're in an abusive relationship, there is purpose behind that. And I know some people will try to argue it, but there's purpose in everything. It's all lessons. When you can shift and realize it's all lessons and everything is working for me, happening for me and not to me, because to me is the victim, now you can begin to have fun. You raise your awareness to what's going on. Why is this person pissing me off? Why is this happening? Why is this going on? It's all internal. And when you can change your internal world, the outside world reflects that. Yes, there's still always things out of our control. Always. Only always. It doesn't mean we got to let it control us. And we're seeing that now. Do I get affected by some of the stuff that's going on and being said? Absolutely. Then I got to sit back. And then I laugh about it. And then I laugh at myself. If you can't laugh at yourself, you got some work to do. And then just call me or send me a message. I'll laugh at you. I love laughing at people. So, I like to laugh. If you don't want to laugh, let me do it for you. I'll be glad to do that.
I love what you said. I'll laugh at versus with. Well, we'll laugh with you too, but at you first.
Yes,
and at ourselves at the same time.
My gift. I will laugh at you to help you see the trivialness of whatever's going on. So then you go, that's silly. And then you can laugh at yourself. It's like Ross and Friends. That's so silly.
Tony, what I love about what you're illustrating, and it's so important. Like once we can get to the point, all of us, where we're looking within for anything that we perceive going on in the outside, instead of blaming or condemning or judging or making wrong something external, like to really be like, oh, like if I'm condemning someone else, that means I have something to heal. That's just a reflection of me. That's a mirror for me. Like when we could take self-responsibility. I'm even at the point now, Tony, and I wasn't always like this, but this has just become a strength of mine. Like once we become aware of anything as human beings, all of us, and we notice it and we choose to want to actually allow that area to evolve. Because in truth, that's a big reason why our souls came down here and incarnated these physical bodies, is because we were going to evolve. We're all on our own soul journey as far as evolving goes. And so, yeah, when you have a death in the family, our soul is evolving because we're going to have a different life experience. When you have an abusive relationship, our soul is evolving because now there's lessons to be learned, and it's just going to happen all throughout. So, yeah, there's purpose behind it. Just call it what the purpose is. It's for our soul to evolve. And at the same time, we came here to enjoy being physical and to create and to touch things and feel things and smell things and see things. And, it's all part of it. If we didn't want to to touch things and be a part of this physical experience, we could have just stayed non-physical. We could have stayed spirits, and that's all good. So the fact that we're here, we know we have purpose, and there's things here that we want to experience, and at the same time, our soul is going to evolve. But now, Tony, even if I witness something going on in the world that I don't even have anything to do with, like, say it's like an argument or like just a lot of drama, I even take that as, Noel, like, how's your vibe been leading up to you just being in the same like area as all this drama is going on? And the fact that I'm noticing the drama, because when I'm leaving the house in the mood that I really enjoy being in, where if I'm at peace or if I'm just excited for the day, I'm like, I'm going to meet some awesome people today. It's just going to be a fun day. If I'm leaving the house in that place, I don't witness or experience any drama. And so I'm not like mad at the people that are in like an argument or anything like that. It just doesn't happen very often. But every time it has in the last several years, I even like, damn, Noel, how's your vibe been leading up to just you being, in this vicinity of this dramatic experience? And I'm like, yep, I've been rushing. I've been, to the stressed and anxious about something. And now I'm getting a mirror to that anxious and that rushing and that off vibration with other people that are having off vibrations. And I'm like, damn, I'm not actively participating, but I kind of am. I mean, it's a reminder to me, like, Noel, can you vibrate at a different place? And the answer to that is always yes. So I love what you're talking about there. Yeah.
Of raising our vibration, raising our frequency, right? And we always, in scenarios when our vibration goes down, whether it could be someone else, but it's always usually, unconscious. Well, it always is always unconscious when our vibration lowers. But you just reminded me of a couple stories, especially around Christmas time, where we can detach and become the observer, right? So I was in the Dollar Tree up here, and it's a dollar store up here. I don't know if you have them down there or not, but or anywhere, whoever's listening or watching this. But I was in a dollar store, and they had like two cashiers. One had to leave, and the manager, you can see her, she's just sort of stressed, but the lines are just backing up, right? And then it's like someone's on the line, and it's like, oh, the line's over here. Just trying to not say, hey, just hey, the line's over here. And then someone's like so on edge, and they're like, oh, I know it is. Don't you start with me. And then they're starting arguing, and I just busted out laughing. Because I was just like, because I'm observing this, and I'm like, wow, the chaos inside, and they're all looking at me. They stopped and looked at me because I'm just laughing at the whole thing, and then they're just like, and then it kind of dissipated and went on their way, and I just giggled. Well, then I walk up to the manager who's trying to set up, get someone out, and she's like, we're short-handed, and I'm trying to get set up, and people are complaining and just bitching at her. So I walk up, and I lean over, and I said, so you having a great day? Because that's what I sense it, I can see it and sense it, right? And I have that gift of being able to just joke around with that stuff. And she looked at me and she goes, oh, you think you're a comedian? And I looked at her and I said, yeah, actually I am. And then she just lost it and started laughing. And then we started having this conversation. I had her laughing the whole time I was in the checkout. And she stopped and she says, when I was leaving, she goes, thank you for the laugh. I needed that. And I go, I know. That's my gift. You're welcome. Merry Christmas. And then I walked out. I'm like, that's what I do. Help people to be able to. So here's the thing with that, and here's what I did. Whether it was unconscious or not with her, right? Whether it was unconscious or not, or it was conscious to her, I let her realize that she has the ability, she has the control over her emotions. She was stressed and worried and freaked out in that moment, and even in the midst of that, she was able to laugh. I've had people where they're crying, had them laughing. I've had them doing it all at the same time. I've done it all at the same time, where I'm freaking angry, crying, and laughing all at the same time. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with me? I'm fucking possessed. Something's wrong with me. But I do it. I tell people, it's like, hey, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get angry, you're going to cry, and you're going to laugh. And sometimes you're going to do all three at the same time. How is that possible? Watch. And of course, I get my crystal ball out and I start doing this. Freaking the light energy's flying from my hands, and I'm just working it and working, and boom, they're like, what the hell is wrong with you? You're like, I hate you. This is fucking stupid. And they're if you could be present with it, it's so fucking funny. And I'm laughing. Well, then I'm making fun of them. Not of them, but making fun of where they're at, right? And they're laughing even more. And that's when you can sit there and laugh at yourself and the silliness and the foolishness of how we operate. And I say I'm making fun of them, laughing at them. It's not in this meanful way, right? It's really in this loving manner and going, look how silly that is. Look how crazy it is that you're being this way. And you've been doing it your whole life. Let's laugh at that shit. And they're laughing. And everybody else is laughing. And then I'm laughing. And I make fun of it because that's what comedians do anyway. They make fun of all that shit. But it's in the most loving, compassionate way. And now they can see, they're like, oh my gosh, this is freaking silly. Well, yeah, well, let's do something different. Or not. Choose to keep doing the same thing. Eventually you'll get there. Because if you continue to do the same thing, that's exactly what your soul wants to do. Until it's perfect timing. Everything happens in perfect timing, right, Noel? Everything happens in perfect timing. Whether we feel it or not. Look, I'm going to be 45 this year. And that 20-year-old who's talking about I'm not successful yet. Are you kidding me? 45 and I've struggled. And I'm struggling. I'm just now, but I've had periods of good, periods of low. And I've had ups and downs because that's my story. My time is now. Gary Vee even talks about that. You got so much freaking life ahead of you. Why are you worried about it now? He struggled too. Look at freaking Colonel Sanders. It was in his 60s before he became a millionaire. There's so many people that happened in their 40s. President Lincoln. There's so many. I can go on and on about the people who were in their 40s, in their 50s and 60s who didn't get it right. Don't worry about what other people are doing. That's going to destroy you. And just because they look successful doesn't mean they're happy. Right?
For sure.
Doesn't mean they're having fun. I know a lot of wealthy people who are so in scarce mode, they're afraid of losing it all. And I've seen people who are poor, don't have anything, and are the happiest people in the world. But if you can have both,
For sure.
happiness and wealth, because it's in our birthright to have abundance, have prosperity, abundance of everything. Everything is energy and everything's frequency. So why not just laugh your way to it? Laugh your way. You trip on a rock, laugh at it. You stub your toe, okay, cuss a little bit, but then laugh at it. You got to laugh at yourself. That's the funnest thing. It's you laugh at yourself when you say something stupid, you do something stupid, or you're holding on to something internal, like, why was I holding on to it for this long? And you just start laughing. You know how beautiful that is to be able to do that? It's so much more peaceful and free. Dude, I have more freedom because I'm able to do that. Again, am I 100% perfect? No, I'd be a robot if I was. But it just tells me I have more to heal, more to evolve, and more to grow, and I'm able to do that. And then I laugh and I'm like, that was so silly. Or my daughter will laugh at me. I mean, she just, what the hell's wrong? I'm like, Dad, she's like, Dad, what's wrong? I'm like, Dad, this is going on. She's like, well, that was dumb. I mean, she does that. And I'm like, it is. And then I start laughing. And it's so liberating to know that you don't have to take life seriously. The people who are saying you got to take life seriously, no, you don't. You've been taught and conditioned that. Someone's like, you're like a big kid. You're damn right I am.
Me too.
You're damn right. I want to have fun and I want to be a freaking kid. Kylie's like, you need to wear this mask because we thought we were going to have to wear a mask somewhere. And someone gave me masks. And one was My Little Pony mask. And she goes, you need to wear that because you act like a 5-year-old all the time. And I busted out. My 14-year-old daughter said this to me. And I'm like, sweetheart, you need to be out here doing comedic stuff too because that was funny and shit. Called me a freaking 5-year-old. But I didn't take offense to that. I'm like, let's have fun with it. I'm like, yeah, I do act like a kid. What did Jesus say? Be childlike. Go back to the time where you were so creative and so connected and you didn't have the conditioning and the veil down, right? You were just out there moving. You're creating. You're living. You're free. You're having fun. You have an imagination that's creating. You're not limited by what ancestral stuff did. I don't even know if that's a word. Ancestral stuff, generational stuff, all the conditioning from your parents, society, government, all of that weighing down on you, pushing you down, saying you can't do that. What if you just stopped and said, boom, I'm a powerful motherfucker. I'm a spiritual divine being because that is what you are. You're a god or goddess. And you have the ability to create and have that life. And that's what Jesus was talking about. That's what Buddha was talking about. That's what all the great masters were talking about. Be more childlike. Get back to that piece of you. So you know what? If I'm having fun all the time, if I'm goofing around all the time and I'm not being serious and it bothers you, good. Because you should be bothered to saying, I want more of that. And that's what it is. When people are judging and they're actually offended or upset and criticizing, it's not because they're doing it. It's because the person who's doing the thing, they want to be doing it, but they don't know how to. And they think that they have to live in this whole base and this. It's like in Aladdin, the new Aladdin, when you got Jafar, who gets put into his own little, because he had all this anger and hate, right? And he gets put into this freaking genie lamp, like just closed up. That's what people are doing. That just now came to me. That's what people are doing. They're putting themselves and all their anger. They're wrapping this lamp of pain and fire and hell, and they're sticking themselves in it, shackling themselves, chaining themselves inside that lamp when they're so constricted and restricted. And this is why there's so much pain. Where you can literally let go of all of that and free yourself and be more childlike and create an amazing life. Your true self is a divine being. The ability to create, the ability to live how you want, the ability to co-create this freaking life that you love. Not being in a job if you don't want to. If you're not freaking happy at a job, go do your thing. This is a beautiful opportunity right now that we are faced with worldwide, of being forced into home. Because now we have the ability to go, well, shit, I don't want to do this. I want to have the openness to allow things in my life. You see an entrepreneur go grind, hustle, keep going, go after those goals, forced it. That's the only way it's going to happen. And that exhausts me just thinking about it. And I did that for years. And I end up worse off. Where now there's a shift. The new earth is emerging. There's a balancing of the feminine and masculine energy. It's been like this. Masculine, feminine energy here, right? Now it's starting to balance. Boom. Because there's power in the feminine. Thousands of years, it's been restricted. Now the earth is like, we're done. We're bouncing back out. No more forcing. The new normal, and I hate that word, but the new normal is a beautiful normal of restoring what once was. So you can create, you can sit back and feel everything and feel your faith, feel yourself to love, to happiness, to laugh more, to have more fun. Instead of being stuck in a genie lamp. I don't know, that came to me and I'm visualizing that right now. And someone needed to hear that. Because, Disney, there's a lot of spiritual stuff that goes in these Disney movies. And it's these last few movies I'm going, holy shit, I'm starting to see more and more of the spiritual sense behind that, the spiritual truths behind these movies. And that lamp, that fiery lamp of hell. We can free ourselves from that. And be like the genie at the end when Aladdin sets him free. But all that is Aladdin. Ooh, this is not coming to me. Holy shit. Aladdin is our higher self. And says, I set you free. Boom. That was pretty cool. I didn't know I was going to say that.
all the best stuff that flies out of our mouth is the stuff that, boom, I didn't know that I was going to say that. Tony, you inspired me to say multiple things just now. And what gave me so much peace and allowed me to have fun like you're describing and enjoy life and not take it so serious is really, if we think about it, like once we become fully aware that, we're energetic beings and like we see these physical avatars, you call yours Tony, I call mine Noel, you call yours whatever, you call yours out there. But if we realize that this is just housing the non-physical energy that is who we truly are, our higher self, call it God, universe, love, all that is, spirit, whatever you want to call it, knowing that when we're done with these physical avatars, whenever that is, nobody knows, tomorrow's not promised to any of us, but whenever we're done with these meat suits, these physical shells that we're in, we're going to return to being the non-physical beings that we truly are. And whatever we decide to go do next, whether we come back here and enjoy another round, or if we go to another dimension or stay non-physical for a while, whatever. It's really not my concern what my energy chooses to do after I leave here. However, I know that I'm still going to be. And how do we know that? I mean, there's people on this earth that their number one passion, what they love to do most, is connecting the physical here in the living with the people that are non-physical and being able to connect people with have passed over. So that gave me all the peace that I needed, to where it's like, what am I taking all this so serious for when I'm just going to enjoy my time here? I don't know how long it's going to be. So I just want to have fun and create and experience all the beauty that this world has to offer. And there's so much. There's so many beautiful places and beautiful people and beautiful things that people have created that we can all play with if we choose to. So then it gets to the point where you just start asking the questions of, what sounds most fun while I'm here? What sounds most fulfilling? What would I like to see in the world? And knowing that all of us, being these divine beings, can create anything that we're inspired to create. We can take anything from just a thought, something that doesn't even exist in the tangible, that's not physical yet, and we could take that thought and we could start putting some attention and some energy on it, not knowing how it's going to happen, when, who it's going to be, who needs to be involved, all this stuff. But just by taking the initial step and putting our first attention and energy on it, then a synchronicity comes in, a good idea, or a person that's like, oh, I want to create something like that too. And now you have a group of people coming together creating something. And that's how everything physical that we see that exists started off as just a non-physical thought in someone's mind that turned into putting attention and energy on it. And eventually put energy on anything long enough, it's going to turn into a physical manifestation, even if it's things that you really don't like. Put enough attention and energy on, oh shit, I'm going to get sick, or oh crap, the world's falling apart. You'll physically manifest some things that will be evidence of that as well. So my best advice to me and to all of us is just to put your attention and your energy on the things that you'd like to see in your life, the things that you would like to see for humanity. And you brought up abundance and being able to live this way. This is why, Tony, that universal abundance exists, because most importantly, there will be no one that ever comes involved doing anything that I'm a part of or you're a part of, or anyone that feels this way, that you won't have light bulb moments, things that will go from being unconscious to now you're conscious about them. Now it becomes a choice for you. So everything that I'm creating, the reason why I'd love to do collaborations like this one is because you may not hear it from me. You may not hear it from Tony. You may need to hear it from the 12th person that said the same thing, and then you're like, now it makes sense. Awesome. It doesn't matter to me where you get it from. I'm just really excited for you as you remember who you truly are, because now you get to participate in this co-creation, this dance called life that all of us are involved in here in 2020 and beyond, and we can create things together. The questions that I'm asking to the universe, Tony, and you already know this, but just for everybody out there, is how can we all thrive? How can we all do what's most fun and fulfilling? How can we help each other? What can we create together? And the answers that have come to me up until this point have been created and I call it universal abundance, because everybody in the universe is invited to participate, to where you can have fun, fulfillment, create whatever you want, travel the world if you want to, not spend any time. There's a question for you guys in the audience. How much time are you spending right now, or have you spent in the past, because we've all done this, but how much time are you spending right now doing anything that you would not be doing if you had the abundance, time, money, resources, whatever it is? That abundance is more than enough of everything. So if you had the abundance already coming in, which it's our birthright, like Tony mentioned, for all of us, how much time are we spending right now doing anything that we wouldn't be doing? There's no way, whether it's going to a job or taking more clients than you want in a business or whatever it is. If we had the abundance already coming in, we wouldn't be doing any of that. There's so many of us living out like that, like almost everybody on the planet, and it's not necessary. The only reason why, and this is just what's been shown to me, is because we have the illusion that we're separate, that we need to do it on our own, that we need to scrounge and scrape and hustle and grind and like make it happen, and like I'm gonna feed my family and survival of the fittest, and the 1% make it and everybody else struggle. Illusion, 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 illusion. Doesn't have to be this way. It can be this way, and we see the evidence of it in 2020. And now things are evolving, just like Tony mentioned. The feminine energy is coming back into play. It's not so masculine and this will continue to evolve as long as we're here. All I'm saying is that right now, people like Tony, people like me, people like so many others are coming together to be able to join forces and collaborate with people that actually want to see a life where we're all enjoying ourselves, we're all having fun, we don't know how long we're going to be here, so why spend even 1 second longer than necessary doing anything that we wouldn't be doing if we had the abundance right now? So why even do it now? Let's let the universe show us ways to where we can help each other, to where we can all be doing whatever is most passionate. And if you guys are like, damn, this sounds great, this sounds like utopia, this is how we wanted to live. When's the last time you've heard the word utopia used from any human on the planet? It's very rare. Why is it such a rare word to use? This should be how we're all living. This is what we all can live. This is why we wanted to come here and be physical. So we've created things like that for this. Tony's collaborated with me on this. Get it in my inbox. I've been saying this a lot. Slide in my DMs, and I will show you. I've been sharing my screen with people and showing them what utopia is for me and what utopia can be for any of us. And I will show anybody how they can no longer spend 1 second of time doing anything that they would not want to do. So you can spend all of your time doing the things that you feel like you're called to do, you're most passionate about, just that you're fulfilled. And then what that's going to do is it's going to add to all that is, all the things that we all get to play with and touch that right now doesn't exist. There's things inside of everybody out there listening right now that doesn't exist in the physical that would exist the second that you decide that instead of the illusion that we're separate, that you choose to come together and we can create together, and you can help each other create all of those visions that we all individually have. Collectively, we can create them. and live in a much more fun world. So that's my pitch for that.
And I just wanted to yell out, "Amen! Preach it, brother! Yes! Give me some more!"
No more. When you mentioned like words flying out of our mouth, that subject there is the one that I'm like, woo! I just let
Dude,
that flow.
you were like, woof, fire is coming up out of you. You're like utopia, and I'm like thinking over here is like I never heard that word in a while ago because we've been conditioned to be separate. We're conditioned to that we got to do it on our own. That we need something out of us to help us get to where we are. Which we see that in government, right? In utopia, and I'm like, people are like utopia. What the hell are you smoking? A bunch of sage? Well, maybe, but whatever helps us get there, right? I love the question that you ask. It's like, how can I have more fun, right? So, and I want to add to that. It's like, how can I have more fun? And then be aware and feel what comes up. Because you say, how can I have more fun? You're going to have so much doubt. All these fears come up going, no, you can't do that. You're going to die. Stay here. Because it's the ego mind, the subconscious, trying to keep you safe. You know, that fight or flight, which is when we were running away from freaking saber-tooth tigers and trying to survive, right, way back in the day, is now used to keep us safe and protect us because it's the unknown. But what if you said, oh, that's what's coming up? And then you heal the stories behind every single one of those. You continue to evolve. Now you can actually have fun. Because I can promise you this, if you're in a job, and this is what's great about this coronavirus, right, in these shutdowns, even though I don't agree with the shutdowns, but it's still great. It's still great because why? Now it's making people think differently. Well, some are losing their absolute minds, which tells me they're in so much fear and losing control and dying. They're like a freaking dog that's backed in a corner, right, and surrounded. It's trying to fight and snap because it's so scared. It doesn't realize that it's trying to be helped in most instances, right? It's trying to help. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to have this back. And you're having all this turmoil, and the kids are, I mean, you're forced. Because people hustle, a lot of people hustle and grind because they're trying to avoid. Addiction is not just drugs. Addiction is not just alcohol. Addiction is not just shopping or sex. It can be work. It's anything that it takes away and distracts you from what really needs to be healed inside. That's it. Because we're trying to avoid our pain. So when you ask the question, how can I have more fun? What would I do if I could have more fun? It's more fun in my life. And allow the doubts to come up. Allow the fears to come up. Allow the I'm not enough stuff come up. Let it tell you why. All it's there is to tell you what needs to be healed. And the only way that you're going to get where you want is to actually go through it. You can't go around it. You have to go through the mountain. You have to walk through the shame of shit of all the gorillas. I'm going back to the gorillas again. There's like a whole line of gorillas and they're just all throwing it at you.
You've been to a zoo. You've been to a zoo lately, or had a?
I have not.
Watch
I
a
want to go.
documentary.
Maybe that's what it is. I want to go because it's been closed. I want to go to the gorilla house, throw some shit at me, and laugh at it. But you're walking down that. It's like, and then you heal that. And actually, now this is the greatest time to finally go, holy crap, I don't like my job. But we're doing those things because we're afraid. That we have to do those things. We got to do it because we got to feed our family. We got to do those things. Instead of letting go and allow the feminine energy to come in and allow it to create. The feminine is creation. And when you think why women birth, it's creation. Preparing the womb. That energy is in all of us, men and women. And some women have adapted because of that masculine energy has come down, and they've adapted, become the masculine to overcompensate. It's time to level that back out, and that's what's going on. Now is a perfect time to say, what would I do? I have time. Yeah, I'm getting back. I don't like what I'm doing. What's that thing you always wanted to do that you let go of? How can you use it to serve and create this lifestyle of time and abundance and be able to do what you want? And you, Noel, have created an amazing platform for universal abundance to allow that too, if they feel resonated with it, right? And led. And it's amazing. It's a whole like network marketing for spiritual truth.
Just way easier than so because I have 12 years of network marketing experience. I was like, all right, that is really difficult for because it's still here's the thing in network marketing, and I love network marketing out there, and there may be some people live that are in network marketing. Here's the thing. It's still the 1% make it and the 99% struggle. And it's not because the 99% can't make it, but you need to decide to put in a lot of time and energy and growth to get to the point where you can lead a big team in order to make it into the 1% of. And even when I was in the 1% of network marketing, because I've been there, even when I was, where I had almost 5,000 people on my team, the amount of hours that took in order to be able to create that and then also to be able to maintain that, that's not the freedom that I was looking for, because the money was coming in, but the time element was still missing. So what Universal Abundance is combining. I was like, okay, I'll take that lesson. I like that. Let me put some of these things in here and leave some of the things where it's like only the 1% can. Universal Abundance, anyone can easily bring in. I've been calling it, Tony, the freedom number, which we all have one of these. Like everybody out there listening, like what's your freedom number? The number that you would need coming in every month where you knew it was coming, regardless if you put in any hours of a job or took any clients, like you already have this amount of money coming in every single month forever. We all have a number to where if that was coming in and we knew it was, we could live our lives freely however we see that to be. Spending time with our family, traveling, creating things for ourselves or for humanity or whatever it is. And so I've been asking people lately what that freedom number is and saying if there's an easier way on the planet to create that number. And most people don't think about freedom numbers ever, because the only people in society that we really see, and most people don't even know this, that have money coming in without putting in time and hours to work, like the movie stars, the people that were on like the Friends cast, you mentioned Friends earlier in this episode, or the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, or shows that had many, many seasons, Seinfeld, to where they were successful shows. Those actors, notice, you don't see many of them doing much now. A lot of them just don't feel, they've done their work. Now they're enjoying their life. But every time one of those episodes get played anywhere in the world, check, coming in to the bank every single time. So they're good. So what if we could create something, which we can, to where you had that same money coming in every single month for something that you already did your part by helping uplift the consciousness of humanity. That's what Universal Abundance is to uplift our own consciousness, uplift the consciousness of others, and then as a result, bring that type of abundance in to where you're free. And you can have that freedom number, whatever it is. It might be a few $1,000s, it might be a 6-figure income, it might be a 7-figure income. But whatever that freedom number is, when you have that, then the question is truly just what sounds most fun, what sounds most fulfilling. You can ask that right now and allow that to unfold. You don't need something like Universal Abundance to do it. All I'm saying is that I asked the universe specifically, show me the easiest way for humanity to be able to have the freedom that I just described, to where we can come together, help each other do it. If there's an easier way on the planet, I haven't seen it. And if there is, I would copy it or go participate in it. So this is the easiest way on the planet, because of when you ask specific questions to the universe and allow the answers to come in over whatever period of time they need to come in, and they're constantly coming in for all of us, you get the answers when you ask the questions. So these are the questions that I'm asking. How can we all thrive? How can we all be abundant? How can we all be free? And this is the way to do it. So, yes.
And I want to add to that. It's like we're asking questions whether we realize it or not, and we're attracting how we are. So why not be more aware of how we're asking questions? So when you say, how can I have more fun? Sit back and allow it to come to you, right? Versus going, why is my life keep falling apart? You're going to get more of that because, science has proved that what we focus on is what we get. And you mentioned this earlier about illness, right? We think we're going to get sick. We're going to get sick. The body will create it. I mean, science has proved that too, even though a lot of people don't want to use that. So when we have this fear of this virus, for instance, right? People are saying, oh, shoot, if I'm going to get it, I'm going to die. They'll create that, whether they have the actual virus or not. They'll create that in their body. They'll create the symptoms. They'll create that happening. And they'll die. This is why you see it in cancer too. Oh, I have 6 months to live. You see a majority of those who die within that 6 months because they believe and they buy into it. Science has proven this time and time again. It's like letting go of that fear of creating that. Or if you do get the virus, it does become worse for you. It may not have, because you created this thing in your mind and your being, and it manifests itself. So instead of asking those questions, why do I always attract this man or woman? I've been there. And then someone tells you, well, it's because you're focused on, I don't want that. Consciously, you don't. But when you ask, why do I always find this person? Why am I always broke? Why do bad things always happen? Guess what you get more of? But when you start shifting it to go, how can I have more fun? What can I do that's more fulfilling? Wow. Do you feel the energy and power of just asking those questions versus what I just asked, just to feel it? I can feel the energy shift. There's more freedom in it. What you've created, Noel, is this whole thing of, hey, you get all these collaborators, these light workers, these spiritual teachers, all these different people. They have their gifts and talents, and they're sharing. It's a personal development, spiritual network marketing in a sense, without all the craziness. But you're learning and growing. You have people who have the platform to share their work, like this, like you and I are doing right now, collaborating. You have all this in this community to be able to do that. And people can come and share or just participate, and then invite people to it and build their abundance so they can do more of what they want to do. 100%. Whether it's travel more, whether it's focusing on serving someone in the way that they feel and led to serve, without having the time constraints and the money constraints or any other constraint. Having that ability, I think it's genius. Of course, it came from the universe. Of course, it's genius.
I don't take any credit for it. But here's a great reminder for all of us, because it totally came from the universe. A lot through meditation, just popping in my mind, and then I'm like, ooh, this is great. Like, it happens so much so. Like the video that is on universalabundance.co right now popped into my mind. The freedom number that I just talked about happened because I had an interview with another spiritual teacher, Daniel, who's in Costa Rica, who's a part of the Universal Abundance community as well. And he started mentioning how before he was aware of the things that he's aware of now, he said, I'm going to manifest enough money to come in to where I don't have to work a corporate job anymore. He said this when he was 25. And at that time, he was a single guy, didn't have kids. He's married and has a little son right now. But at that time, he only needed a few $1,000s coming in to where he didn't have to go work at the corporate job anymore. He could pay all his bills and do that. So he was like, I'm just going to manifest having that come in. And he actually did. I was like, it's not about the amount. Everybody has a different amount. Like that would mean freedom for them. But it's the way that it's coming in. It's can you count on it even when there's a global pandemic going on? Like, can you count on it still coming in? That's where the power is. And so, I don't take any of the credit for it. Just my life experience, though, the experiences that I was like, why am I experiencing this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 7 years ago? I understand now because it all played a part. Like the universe needed me to have these experiences so that the downloads would actually make sense and I could actually use them. Like we won't have downloads come into our mind that we can't use. Like when we have them, it means we can use them. We're ready for them, or else we won't have them. Like we'll be ready for something else. There's other life experiences that we need. So I see that clearly now. So I'm not second guessing anything that's happening in life because it's going to serve me most likely in the future, the unpromised future. When I get there, it'll be now. But whenever I get there, that's going to serve me because I'm getting that experience now, learning lessons and being able to evolve. My soul's evolving just like everybody out there is. And we can embrace that and have fun with that. Life is just a fun journey.
And I can hear the song, I can see clearly now the rain has gone.
I love it.
The obstacles in my way. But it's beautiful when you talk about, it's like, hey, when there's a pandemic, money just coming in or flow or whatever. And, money is just energy, right? And money really doesn't have any power. And there could be a time, too, where money is not really money, but it's energetic where abundance comes from. That could all shift too in the near future, and I believe it will, where money is not going to have much of a say-so in it, but it's going to be different. It's going to be more of the energetic versus the actual paper. I don't know how that looks, but I believe it's going to happen. And just being able to live, it's just beautiful. It's like to be able to live the way you choose to live. It's perfect timing. No matter what is going on in the world, you're taken care of. And I love how you said, like, Friends in Hollywood, right? Like, you think of David Schwimmer now, right, from Friends. He directs. He directs his own stuff. You don't see him in the movie screen anymore, but he's a director. And he's doing other things. He's doing what he loves. And guess where he got his foot in and learning where he loved directing? During Friends. Because you see some of the later episodes, he's a director in it. He's learning it as he's being acting in it, too. And then he's like, hey, I love doing this. But I also, because you inspired me on something, too, is that when you have this idea, download, don't be so attached to it, because you could do it could be used just to get you to the next step, to have a newer download, to the next step. So what you're doing now, the idea you have to do it can evolve. And you could be doing something completely different 5 years from now, but it's all part of this evolution to get you where you were at. Just like for me, I was a straight life coach. struggled, doing a little bit here, ups and downs and up and down. But I needed that to learn exactly what I wanted. I had to do stand-up comedy to realize, wait a minute, I love skit comedy. That's how it is. Oh, I also know that I'm going to be using my gifts of empath and transformational healing and quantum healing, because I have those abilities, and I'm learning more about myself and these gifts that are coming to me, downloaded to me, going, holy shit, I can do that too. That I'm going to be using that gift to help people realize their truth so they can have the comedy. But that's still going to be comedic. There's still going to be humor like this here. I've had people laughing in this, coming up with the goofy stuff, shit show and all that other stuff. It's all part of it. It's still going to make people laugh. But doing transformation, and I don't know that part, and it's going to evolve, and it's okay. Don't be so attached to, this is what I'm supposed to do, this is how I'm going to do it, and it's got to be this way. Why is it not working? It could just be for your evolution to get you to the next step. Take it, run with it until it no longer works and serves, until something new comes along. Take that, run with it. And guess what? Some of those, you maybe have one thing and boom, you go, because that's how you designed when you came here. This is what you wanted. Some of us are going to have extra steps to get us to where we want to learn exactly what we really love on something. Hey, I don't like this, but I like this. Ooh, now I got more clarity. I can do this now. I want to do more of this. And you had that road, that path. It's like an airplane, right? They don't just put the coordinates in and they fly and they're there. No, they're constantly having to make adjustments. The wind's blowing them. They got to constantly make these little adjustments to get where they're at, to the destination. Same thing. And everything is used for our good, period.
I love it. This has been such an awesome conversation. What you just said holds true. And I'm definitely not try the first thing and then go all the way to the finish. Like my whole life has just been but it's been fun because now that I'm not stressed on this needs to be it. Like what I'm involved in now, it seems like this is a big part of why I'm here, but I'm using so many other elements of things that are, happened earlier in my life. So that holds true for me so much. Like it's just, I love it. It's so much fun.
Freaking beautiful, dude. And I'm not that way either because I've done so many different things, but I've also been so attached to those things. I'm like, wow, God led me here. Universe led me here. Why is it changing? And I've been so attached to it, it creates more suffering. So don't be attached to things and go with the free flow of how things are working. You're like, oh, this is what I'm doing for right this moment. Oh, wait, I got this new idea. Then you can have fun with it. Well, that was a great lesson. You can see it more and you move more. Just don't be attached to it and move. And keep moving and having fun. Did I say have fun? Have fun. Hey, I'm going to say it again. Have some damn fun.
What should we title this conversation? Have some fun?
Have some fun with the shit show.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you, brother. And this is going to be a great addition inside of the Universal Abundance community. And you feel free to use this video however you want. And I'm just excited for people that have tuned in live. And I've enjoyed streaming these for people. And all the stuff that I do it's housed inside of the Universal Abundance community to uplift each other and just to make everything that we're creating together more valuable. And just rooting for everybody out there. Definitely share this however you're watching it. Share it if you're watching it live, streaming. Just share it with someone. It'll definitely benefit them. And just a great reminder, nothing that we're sharing applies to only a select few. This is who all of us truly are, seeing that we're all just different expressions of the same non-physical energy. We're just in different physical avatars. So what applies to Tony applies to me. What applies to me applies to you out there and everyone else. So it's all beautiful. Makes life way more simple. There was like a different guide manual for each and every one of us that we had to figure out, then we would be separate. And then it would be a lot more challenging. But since the same guide is for us all, the same non-physical energy is flowing through and true into who all of us truly are, it's way easier. It's not overcomplicated. And let's have fun.
Yes. Hey, have some fun.
Well, I appreciate you, Tony. This is fun and definitely a fun conversation that I always want to have with you anyways. And I'm always happy that it's recorded and can be shared and people can be impacted by it. So thank you.
I love it, dude. And thanks for the inspiration from you as well. That's what I love about that. When you're collaborating, you get inspired. You think of new things like the whole genie lamp. That was inspiration from something you said. Boom, pops in my head. I love it. This is what it's about. This is why we're all one, connected, because we have this ability to do that because we're inspired from each other going, oh, bam, the best ideas come from when I'm inspired, collaborating. It's like, oh, wait, if I talk something out, oh, now I got the answer. It's amazing. It's beautiful. So let's get more connected, share more love, right? Let's be more loving, be more love in the world, And because we're being more loving in the world, we're having more fun. It's just the energy of that. I'm just like, it just feels like this weight coming off. It's amazing. And I love it, man. Thanks for what you're doing. And it's an honor to be here.
No, me too. Reflecting it back. I appreciate you, brother. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a beautiful day whenever you hear this, whether it's now or 100 years from now. We appreciate, love you all. Talk to you guys soon.
Go do something fun.
Do it. Awesome. Cool, brother.